please explain for the investors what is different and unique about SmartArb?
Sure. I think the most important thing to understand is that now there are thousands of companies that are working and offering smart contracts on the blockchain. And these contracts work just fine if it's just a simple transaction. For example, I transfer some Ether to you. We do the transaction, it's immediately executed. If you don't get the money, then I'm not going to give you the goods, or the other way around. But if the contracts are more complicated, if, for example, a machine is sold and then after it's delivered, the funds are released to the seller, but then the machine doesn't work, or it breaks down during the warranty, what are we going to do? So we are the only company that offers dispute settlement services, specifically for these kind of blockchain-based contracts.
Wow, that is great. So now from the other side, who would be your potential users? What is the market that you're targeting, and also how big is the market?
Well, I think that the market is growing exponentially. First of all, it's of course anybody who makes blockchain contract, but we're not limiting our services to that. So we can also do sort of traditional mediation and arbitration services, but more and more of these transactions will move to the blockchain because it's more efficient. And then we have basically services for dispute settlement for everyone. In particular also for transactions that involve relatively small amounts of money. Because if you have a multi-million-dollar transaction, there are traditional arbitration institutions that can service those very well. But what if your transaction is only $5,000 or $10,000? Let's say a prepayment for a real estate that you want to reserve, and then it turns out the property is not what you expected, you want your money back, they don't give it to you. Your choice has been get a lawyer in some foreign country, go to court there and try to recover 5,000 euros. You're not going to do that. Our services can work with that. So we are open for end users, for business users, for lawyers, for intermediaries, real estate agencies, licensing firms, even banks can use our services. So the market is really very, very large. So there's really two ways of coming to us. Either they have a binding dispute settlement clause in a contract, so they can copy-paste our model into their contract, and that it means they have to come to us unless they both agree to go somewhere else. So there's an advantage, because sometimes, you know, when they negotiate, they like each other, so they put in these clauses, but later they don't, when they start arguing, they don't want to stick to them. If the clause is in the contract, it's binding also when the dispute has actually started. But if they don't have a good clause in the contract, they can still agree that it doesn't make sense to go to court, let's say in Italy, where the courts are notorious for long delays, and for years you're not going to get a decision. You can come to us and we will help you out, and it's going to be just a couple of months to get a final and enforceable decision.